It's our penultimate Sunday in Ottawa, Canada's capital, and today it's raining and it's going to be thunderstorms, but I'm going out anyway. A picture can paint 1,000 words, because I'm Huples cat and I'm crazy. So I'm on the isthmus of land that's between the Rideau Canal and the Rideau River, and it's about 1.5 miles from the centre of downtown Ottawa, from the Parliament building, from the hill. So what I'm doing is I'm walking to the east side of the river. I could of course get Kitty to drive me across the 417 or any of the numerous bridges to the east side of the river, or I could take one of the many buses that go across the canal and the river, or I could get on the O at Leeds Station for a chunk of cheese. But I'm Huples cat, so I'm walking there. Basically right now I am, there's the map, right now I'm here. Giddy up, let's go on an adventure. I don't know if you can see it, but right next to the O line is actually a bike path that's separated from everything by fencing. Great idea. But right about where I'm standing, where the river starts, there's a bike path here, so I can take that and go along the western side of the river, or I can go slightly down there and go underneath the bridge and go on the eastern side of the river. I can also cross over on this side. Always good advice, no matter what path you're on, no matter if it's an actual pathway or just a path. Always be very courteous. So Huples cat can cross this bridge and I'm going to walk over there. Proof that I'm now on the eastern side of the Rideau River. Hogs Park is 6.3 kilometers from here, that way. The couples who walk together stay together. You'll find a lot of this kind of sentiment in Ottawa. And if I walk north in 5 kilometers or so, I get to the Rideau Falls. But no, I'm going to try this way. One of the things is, it's very easy to dislike cars and be very pro-bike if you have had your governments for decades spending hundreds of millions of dollars creating really great bike paths. Almost nowhere in Canada has this sort of level of expertise and integrated systems, and it's great that Ottawa has it. It would be better if we could export that to our other cities. Without a shadow of a doubt, this part of the pathway is absolutely wonderful. It's very, very rural, very, very scenic, very, very treed. But I have to say, I have had no indication at all that 10 to 30 feet this way is a big river. So finally, after about 10 minutes walking from that direction, heading in this direction, I seize this. That's the Rideau River. So if you want a nice peaceful walk in a woodland area, definitively the Eastern Rideau River Parkway is the way to go. If you actually want to see more of the river, take the Western Rideau Parkway. I've already used that, and that video will be linked at the end. I don't know about you, but there's something in me that just screams at me to explore these sort of things, which I will not be doing today. Behind me is the first and best view I've had of the Rideau River on the eastern side of the river. What you can see over there is the pathway between two parks on the western pathway of the Rideau River, and we walked little Wolfie there with a limp and carried him. Beautiful place to live there though, eh? And now we have our first actual great view of the Rideau River on a rainy day. The guidebook told me I would probably actually get to this point and it's very urban. I don't want to turn around, but told me not to. I'll give you a look. It is pretty urban. I've gone about 3 kilometers from my house. That bridge across the Rideau River actually is Main Street. And Main Street is the main street right by where we live. So just after the Main Street Bridge, you'll encounter this large open green space by the road. It's colossal. That's not why I'm stopping here, it's to show you this. Hashtag my dream house. What can you hear? Nothing but the rain. So the stones you're looking at least some of them, if not all of them, date from 1814, which is the year before the Battle of Waterloo. And as you can hear, they're removed for a road construction, which is a shame. And I'm going to go underneath it, provided the killer geese, ducks and pigeons don't get me. Okay, so this spot is known as Billings Bridge. Again, when you read this stuff, it's always fascinating to read what's not mentioned. Before 1812, this was deserted, completely empty. There were no people living in Canada or here at all. This land was completely empty and anybody could just take it and own it. Of course, that is far from the truth. However, in 2022, I'm going this way. So this is the Bank Street Bridge on a very wet day. And as you can see, this would be amazing to kayak down. Let's go south. Okay, so you can see the islands from underneath Bank Street Bridge quite clearly. Now, I have no idea if the Rideau River freezes over in the winter. The canal obviously does, and they have Winterlude here and people skate along it. And I've done that many, many years ago. But anybody from Ottawa, does the Rideau River freeze over safely to skate on? Of course, they don't mention the cormorants, which we just had a great view of, and I got a picture of them. So the river environment it's so fascinatingly racist. And we should be more careful with this sort of stuff. It's beautiful, eh? But what do I mean by racist? Scientists first explored the unusual habitat of the Rideau River around the shoreline in the 1880s. Now this assumes that science was not something that was indigenous to Canada prior to European humans coming. That is frankly completely untrue. Making many new discoveries of the Ottawa Valley. No, discovering things unknown to European settlers that were known quite well to the people who owned and lived here. Hackberry, a southern deciduous riverbank tree with grey watery ridges on its trunk. Is that a hackberry? No idea. I'm about to leave this urban type area, and very shortly I'll be at Vincent Massey Park, and then very shortly after that, a mile after that, I'll be at Hogs Park. So apparently the route is closed for this little section. I'm supposed to take this diversion and go around, which is actually quite a bit of a diversion. No, let's go the closed way. It's sunny and raining. So I'm entering the forest again. I just want to teach you something that if you're an English person, you know, but if you're North American, you might not. These are nettles. They sting. They're stinging nettles. How do you pluck them? Well, you wear gloves, right? You cut and wear gloves. Once boiled, you can eat them. Make a nice soup. However, it's been a while since I did this. If you grab it this way and pull, it doesn't really sting. And if it does sting, find yourself dock leaves and rub it. It's the antidote to nettle stings. Any kid from England can tell you that one. Nettles coming into North America are invasive, but to be honest with you, they're a really good source of nutrition. And it's something we should be celebrating but controlling. Of course, I've been in a major city. You can tell by the ever-present traffic noise, but it's wonderful here. Really nice. But I can tell you something. That was a stinging nettle, and I didn't pull it fast enough. As a kid, I've actually fallen in shorts with no top on into a whole bunch of nettles. I think it's quite a common occurrence in England. Really hurt. The older you get, the less the sting affects you, but it's stinging. Well, here I am at some rapids, pretty cool, and they're doing their best to stop me from progressing this way. But I am Huples cat. Onwards. Of course, you never trespass on building sites, but this is kind of a cool one. So I'm just going to weave my way around there and carry on. Rapids. And this is what a spot of trespassing gets you. Very nice. Of course it's still raining, and I still have about a mile or so to go. Fairly sure this is the Vincent Massey Park, and this is the first free water I've seen in 5 kilometres. It's just about 3 miles. Use a bottle of water, just topped up the bottle, so I have 2 bottles of water. Always be hydrated, even on a rainy day. Woohoo! 0.9 kilometres to my destination. This is a public convenience in Ottawa. At this point I've just strayed from the bike path. Go up, young Huples, go up. Oh, this is very, very pretty. I just climbed about 100 feet over a very short horizontal distance to get here on very uneven flagstones. In the rain, whilst carrying a reasonably heavy backpack. I think this might be my turning around point. Spectacular. But first I'm going to go on that bridge. I made my destination. So, 20 minutes, the entire site. Alrighty. Maybe I will. A picture can paint 1,000 words. You don't say. Smart precaution. However, I think it's okay to walk on this. In the rain. Well, I'm going to do it this way. But seriously, folks, don't do this. That's how I'm doing it. Safety first, seriously. If you slide on this, you're going to really hurt yourself. And if you slide on it over here, you're going to enter the water, which is cold. Like seriously, Parks Canada, you think it's okay for people to walk down there? I definitely don't. Behind me is the Rideau River flowing northwards. over there is Hogsback's Fall, which is the river. But I walked further on south for a reason. That's where the canal starts. I am literally between the canal and the river. Very cool. So I'm going to walk back on the east side of the canal. So I'm right at the start of my canal walk. This is the river, and this is where I've been walking. This is Hogsback's Falls area. And right now I'm right here. This is probably the first lock of 33 that follows the 8 to 9 kilometres of the canal all the way to the Parliament Hill in Ottawa. Eventually, of course, it enters the huge Ottawa River. Well, that's it from me. I hope you've really enjoyed this walk. If I see anything worth videoing on the way back, I'll put it in before this. Hope you have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Even if you're not warned about dangerous activities, have a think. This is definitely dangerous, and I'm staying by the fencing all the way back. Here it goes. This has been a 2022 Little Terrier in a Car production.